Thanks very much, and I'm really glad to be here. And I'm glad to be standing with people who care about the future. You know, you learn a lot when you come to a town like Nanaimo. I learned some things this morning from a very smart person, the taxi cab driver. You know, they're pretty smart, some of those people, you know? So we were going out here, and I said, so what do you think of the strike up here? He went on about the students, and you know, he was heartfelt about what was happening to students. He told a couple of stories about students who were he knew that were trying to graduate and couldn't graduate right now. And so I wondered what he thought, so I said to him, I didn't say, you know, well, you gotta be on strike and go for it. I said, well, what do you think about what's happening? Have you got any thoughts about why it's happening? And he stopped for a second and he said, you know, it's really simple. It's about money. He said they're running this place like a corporation, not an education institution. That's what he said. That's what he said. And he said, I've been around a long time. And he said, you know, sometimes it's not so clear what's going on. But in this case, it really is good guys and bad guys. And the bad guys are the Board of Governors and the government, because they're the ones doing it to the institutions, and the good folks are the people fighting for this institution. So thank you on behalf of the people of Nanaimo and Victoria. We've had a union movement for a long time, as Barry pointed out. For a long time, they've been writing our obituary. The only day they'll ever write our obituary when we forget one thing. Perhaps it's the most precious thing that we have in the labor movement. And the only reason that we can stand here today and be in and struggle with this organization is because of that one thing. And that thing is called solidarity. It really is at the core of everything we do, and it's the most precious thing we have. When people challenge that solidarity, then they're challenging our very being as a union movement. And so today I want to talk about some of the people who are acting in solidarity in this dispute. It's not just the instructors here who are walking the picket line today, it's two other unions that didn't vote to go on strike, but when that picket line went up, they respected that picket line. So I want to thank, on behalf of everybody, the BCGU and CUPE, because they are doing what we do in this province. And they are keeping this labor movement alive, and that's why this can work. And I know, if the time comes that you're walking your picket lines, that those instructors will be standing there beside you too. And that's why we're going to win this. It does make me angry to think that people are appointed to the Board of Governors. In the last 2 weeks, when the clock is ticking on all these students and the solidarity they're showing as well, ticking on their lives, their futures, this Board of Governors has spent more time at the Labor Relations Board trying to divide people at this campus and open up a chunk of it, rather than sitting down at the bargaining table and opening the whole thing up so everybody can go back to work together. And they're going to bargaining this afternoon. Gary was right. It's called bargaining because you sit down and you bargain. And this afternoon they're going back to bargaining. Our message today from the rest of the Labour movement to those Board of Governors and to Victoria: there is no answer at the Labour Relations Board. There is no answer with the lawyers. There is only one answer, and that's at the bargaining table when you get to an agreement with the union involved. And that's the only way people are going back to work. The only way it's going to work. We understand this in the Labour movement. We also understand about the next generation. For a number of you, you've been on the picket line a few times. I talked to one woman who's been on the picket line 9 times already. She's a veteran, eh? Well, that tells you something about a few things, though, doesn't it? It tells you we didn't invent picket lines a few years ago. We invented them a long time ago. And there's not one thing in that collective agreement you have. Not one thing in that collective agreement that those Board of Governors came into the staff room one day and said, hey, do you need a pension plan? Hey, do you want a wage increase? Hey, do you mind if we hire some more people? The fact is, we fought for everything we ever got. Everything we ever got, we have to fight for, and fight every day of our lives to get that. And that's what this fight is about. It's about the future. And it's about the next generation and about us respecting them. Because this is a lot of buildings and a lot of concrete, but it's people. It's people building the future of this province. It's people who get up every morning of their lives, no matter what you do in these buildings. No matter what you do in these buildings, you get up every morning of these lives and you make the future of this province. You make the people that are going to make this economy work. It's all crap that it's just money and we have to beg for money. It's people who make the economy work. It's the future that you're fighting for here today, and that's why we're all with you. Because the future of this province needs institutions like this to work. And what this battle really is about education, about training the next generation of people, and about making sure this province has a healthy workforce that can get good jobs in this province. So I want to say, on behalf of everybody in the labor movement, all the people in the city, the Labor Council and others, that this is a just fight, it's a right fight, and if we don't fight sometimes, then we will lose everything. Because as we fought for getting everything, and everything we got we had to fight for, we also understand if we don't keep fighting, we lose it. Can you tell me how this is a better institution when they lay off 50 faculty? When they cut back programs here? And I walk the picket lines. People are coming up to me and saying, gee, you know, I have a classroom. I just sit there. There's no one in it. The fact is there's waiting lists in these colleges. There's waiting lists in universities. People need post-secondary education to get a decent job. We shouldn't be shutting them down. We shouldn't be laying people. This is upside down. It's upside down. So on behalf of everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much for standing up for all of us. And we'll be here, and I'm coming to the victory party. Thank you.